Happy New Year, everyone. Hope you all had some time to relax and recharge. We're kicking off the year with some pretty big news in the tech world.
It's true. The AI world is buzzing right now.
NVIDIA, the folks behind those powerful GPUs we all love, well, they just made a move that's got everyone talking.
Yeah, NVIDIA's acquisition of Run.ai.
$700 million. That's a lot of zeros.
Yeah, it's a hefty price tag for sure, but the real story here, it goes way beyond just the money.
Right, right.
It's all about NVIDIA's strategy in the world of AI.
I think a lot of folks are probably scratching their heads right now.
Yeah.
Like, what is Run.ai? And why did NVIDIA just drop a small fortune on them?
Well, in the simplest terms, you can think of Run.ai as a company that helps other companies get the absolute most out of their AI infrastructure.
So like squeezing every last drop of performance out of those expensive GPUs.
Exactly. See, AI, especially the cutting-edge stuff, it's incredibly demanding when it comes to computing power.
Yeah.
And GPUs, those are the workhorses that make it all happen.
Okay, I'm following you.
Now, Run.ai's software, what it does is it basically orchestrates how those GPUs are used, making sure everything runs super smoothly and efficiently.
So it's like, if you imagine a busy restaurant kitchen, right?
Yeah.
You got multiple chefs, a ton of orders flying in. Everyone needs access to the ovens, the prep stations, all that.
Lots of moving parts.
Exactly. So Run.ai, it's like that super organized kitchen manager who makes sure each chef has the right tools at the right time,
You got it.
keeping the whole operation humming, no wasted time, no bottlenecks.
Perfect analogy. And here's where things get even more interesting.
Okay, I'm ready.
NVIDIA has decided to make Run.ai's software open source.
Whoa, hold on. Open source.
Yep. This means anyone, anywhere can use it, modify it, even contribute to the code.
Now, that's a big deal. I mean, we're talking about a company, NVIDIA, that's known for, well, let's be honest, it's high-priced technology.
Right.
So to see them suddenly embrace the world of open source, it's a bit of a head-scratcher. Right.
It is, and some folks are seeing this as a sign of generosity, you know?
NVIDIA's getting all warm and fuzzy.
Yeah, but let's be real, there's always a strategy at play.
Of course.
You know, NVIDIA, they're not exactly a charity.
Right.
So open sourcing Run.ai, I mean, it's a smart move on a couple of levels.
Okay, lay it on me.
For one thing, NVIDIA's been facing increased scrutiny from regulators lately.
Ah, yeah, those folks who are making sure the tech world plays fair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And by open sourcing Run.ai, well, it's a way for NVIDIA to demonstrate, their commitment to collaboration and openness.
So maybe ease some of those regulatory concerns?
Absolutely, yeah.
But there's got to be more to it than just optics, right?
Oh, absolutely. Open sourcing Run.ai also creates a powerful incentive for developers.
To basically choose NVIDIA GPUs for all their AI projects.
You got it. Think about it. If you're a developer and you know you have access to top-notch tools and a supportive community, you're more likely to stick with the hardware that makes it all possible.
It's like saying, hey, we're not just selling you the ingredients, we're giving you the whole cookbook. And hey, join our cooking club while you're at it.
It's a brilliant strategy.
But what about the folks who built Run.ai in the first place?
Yeah, the founders. They've been very clear that they see this move as a way to really push AI forward.
You mean accelerate innovation?
Exactly. They believe that by making these tools more accessible, by democratizing AI development, we can solve bigger problems faster.
Okay, I can get behind that. But, open source, it's not without its challenges, right?
Right.
There's always a risk that competitors might take the code, run with it, create their own rival products.
That's always a possibility. But NVIDIA seems pretty confident that the benefits outweigh the risks.
They're betting on their hardware being the best.
Yeah, and on building a strong community around Run.ai.
A community that will, in turn, keep them at the forefront of AI innovation.
Exactly.
So it's a bold move, a bit of a gamble, but one that could pay off big time for NVIDIA.
It could, and potentially reshape the entire AI landscape.
Now, that's something I think we all need to pay attention to.
We'll be back in a moment to dive even deeper into what all this means, not just for the tech world, but for all of us. Welcome back, everyone. We've been talking about NVIDIA and their decision to open source Run.ai.
Yeah, big move.
And, well, it's clear there's a lot to unpack here.
Definitely. I mean, on the surface, it seems like a pretty bold, maybe even risky move, right?
Right. I mean, open sourcing something as complex as this AI orchestration software, there are definitely challenges.
I was just thinking about that. NVIDIA They're essentially letting anyone peek behind the curtain, see how the magic happens.
Yeah, it's a different approach.
So how do they plan to stay ahead of the game if everyone has access to their playbook?
Well, for one thing, they're still the leader when it comes to the actual hardware, the GPUs.
Makes sense. Even
Yeah.
if someone tries to copy run.ai, it's going to work best on an NVIDIA hardware, right?
Exactly. It's like having a recipe that calls for a very specific type of ingredient that only you make the best.
Ah, I get it. But isn't there also the issue of, quality control once the software's out there in the wild,
That's a good point. Now anyone can tinker with the code, make changes.
which could be a good thing? Or it could create a whole lot of mess.
Potentially, yeah. If different developers are making changes that don't work well together, you get what's called fragmentation.
Fragmentation, not good.
Not ideal. It's like having different parts of a machine speaking different languages. Things just won't run as smoothly.
So too many cooks in the kitchen, spoiling the broth, or in this case, the AI software.
Exactly. But that's where a strong community can really make a difference.
Right, right. Because if you have a community of developers who are all working together following the same guidelines, well, then open source can actually work really well.
Exactly. It's all about collaboration, communication, making sure everyone's on the same page.
So open source, it's not just about taking, it's about giving back as well.
Absolutely. A strong community, it fosters a sense of ownership. People are more likely to contribute their expertise, help make the software better for everyone.
Okay, I'm starting to see the upside here, but I mean, let's be honest. We focused a lot on the potential downsides, the risks.
Mhm.
What are some of the truly exciting things that could come out of this open source approach?
I mean, just imagine a world where the best AI minds from all over the world are all working together on the same project.
Like a global brain trust for AI, all focused on making things better.
It's a pretty powerful idea, right? And it could lead to innovations that we haven't even thought of yet.
And it's not just limited to, the big tech companies anymore.
No.
Anyone with a good idea, some coding skills, and a passion for AI, they can contribute.
Yeah, it's about breaking down those barriers, making AI development more accessible, more diverse.
Right. A rising tide lifts all boats, right?
Exactly. Faster innovation in AI, it benefits everyone.
It could lead to breakthroughs in medicine and transportation, who knows?
So many possibilities. It's a really exciting time.
But let's flip the coin again for a second. We've talked about the good. What about the potential for misuse? I mean, couldn't bad actors exploit this open source code for malicious purposes?
It's a valid concern for sure, and it's something the AI community needs to be very mindful of. Just like any powerful tool, open source can be used for good or for bad.
So how do we prevent that? How do we make sure that open source AI is used responsibly?
It's about having those tough conversations, developing strong security measures, ethical frameworks. It's a collaborative effort.
It sounds like we need developers, researchers, policymakers, everyone working together to figure this out.
It's a big challenge, but it's an important one. And ultimately, I think the potential benefits of open source AI, they outweigh the risks.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the big picture, the potential impact on society as a whole. But let's zoom in a bit. How could this move by NVIDIA actually affect our listeners' daily lives?
Well, think about it. AI is already all around us. It's in the apps we use, the recommendations we get. It's changing the way we shop, the way we travel.
And now, imagine all that being developed in a more open, collaborative environment.
It could lead to more personalized experiences.
Mhm.
Imagine AI assistants that really understand your needs, recommendation engines that suggest things you'd actually be interested in.
That would be pretty cool.
And it's not just about convenience. Open source AI could also lead to breakthroughs in healthcare, education, all sorts of fields.
So this is about a lot more than just, making our phones a little bit smarter.
Oh, absolutely. This is about the future of technology and how it impacts every aspect of our lives.
And it feels like we're just at the beginning of this journey.
We are, yeah. There's so much more to come. And that's what makes this so exciting.
Welcome back to the show. We've spent quite a bit of time now diving deep into this whole open source AI thing.
Yeah, it's been a fascinating discussion.
Starting with that big move by NVIDIA, opening up run.ai. And, we've used a lot of analogies along the way. Right. Like the kitchen, the recipe, all that.
Yeah, those were helpful.
But I keep thinking there's another analogy that might be even more fitting.
Oh,
I'm curious.
what if instead of sharing a recipe, what NVIDIA is really doing is planting a seed?
Planting a seed. I like that.
A seed has the potential to grow into something so much bigger, more complex than, what you initially planted.
I see where you're going with this.
Right. So by making run.ai open source, NVIDIA is not just handing over a finished product, they're creating an environment where a whole ecosystem can grow.
It's a really strategic move when you think about it that way.
And who knows what might sprout from this seed? Maybe brand new applications for AI that we haven't even imagined yet.
Or solutions to some of the world's biggest problems.
Exactly. It's like opening up a portal to a whole universe of possibilities.
I love that. A portal to a universe of innovation.
So now here's a question for you, the listener.
Okay.
What role do you want to play in all of this? Do you want to just sit back and watch as this new world takes shape? Or do you want to be a part of it? Help shape the future of AI?
That's the beauty of open source. It gives individuals the power to make a real difference.
Absolutely. You don't need to be, a tech genius or work for a giant company to contribute.
If you've got an idea, some passion, a willingness to learn, you can be a part of this.
So don't just read about it. Go out there and explore those open source projects.
Share your ideas, connect with other people who are excited about AI.
Because the future of AI, it's not set in stone. It's being written right now, and your voice matters.
That's a great point to end on.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have, from NVIDIA's motivations to the potential benefits and risks of open source AI. It's been a whirlwind.
And a huge thanks to all of you, our amazing listeners, for joining us on this journey.
Always a pleasure.
We hope this has sparked some new ideas, maybe even inspired you to get involved in this exciting world of open source AI.
And remember, the conversation doesn't end here. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Until next time.